Welcome to BasedMent Sports, episode 3. We're your hosts, Corey Plasky and Matthew Pollock over here. Today's episode is sponsored by Vaseline. Stop by your local pharmacy and stock up for the next time that the Boston Red Sox royally screw you up your ass like they just did. We're going to go in a different direction today, and we're going to focus on baseball. MLB free agency has been buzzing, and we're here to bring you the news and some spicy takes. Let's dive into America's pastime right now and try to have some fun today. We're going to try, but I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it.
Let's go. Let's have a fucking day. I'm in a great fucking mood today, if you were wondering. Great fucking mood. Much better mood than this fucking guy, right? Let's start with the small stuff, and then we'll get into what everyone's waiting for. If you know us, you know what we're talking about. The jersey's on. The king's coming home. His king, on the other hand, is taking his talents out west. But let's start with a couple other big free agents first. Jacob deGrom, one of the best pitchers in baseball, heading down south to the Texas Rangers for 5 years, $185 million from the New York Mets. But the New York Mets don't fucking waste any time replacing him, as literally, 2 days after the fact, signed Justin Verlander to a 2-year, play baseball, kids, 2 years, $86 million deal.
Pitch.
Yeah, more importantly, fucking pitch, bro.
Verlander Cy Young this year, too.
Coming off Tommy John at 39 years old. What the fuck, dude? Let's start with the DeGrom, the Texas Rangers.
What is it with the Texas Rangers? Am I missing something? Don't get me wrong. Everybody, they're going to sign where they could get money and things like that. But usually it's money and winning. I'm going to prioritize both. And, maybe they could turn it around and everything, but they have sucked, and they made a lot of big moves last year. Seager, Simeon, a couple other names, but those are the big ones.
Got rid of Joey Gallo. That's always a positive.
But they stunk last year, and, I don't know if DeGrom going there, makes them a World Series contender. They're the Rangers. They're always going to have that stigma that, you're not good, and it's just always going to be like that. That's what it's meant to be. And,
not for nothing, they got to get in via the wild card because the fucking Houston Astros are going to run that division for as long as they fucking want to, the way they're operating. There's a couple factors, definitely, right? And I don't, bad on me not doing my homework. I don't know where DeGrom's from originally.
Florida, I believe.
He's all right, so
Florida
he
guy.
Probably enjoys the warm weather, wanted to get the hell out of the Northeast. And last time I checked, state tax in Texas is a hell of a lot less in Texas than it is up in New York.
I'm glad that you brought it up. If you didn't, I was, but I feel like something has to be done in sports.
I agree.
It's just such an unfair. It's not a level playing field. We focused on the NFL the past 2 episodes. I'll go back quick. The Jets and the Dolphins were battling out for Tyreek Hill, and he came out and said that it was basically the state taxes. It was money that he made that decision. It's not a level playing field.
No.
Why could, some people do it, but others can't? I feel like something has to be done with the professional sports leagues, the governments, the states, everything.
Yeah, because especially not for nothing, especially with the fucking Blue Jays up in Canada, that's a whole different situation. I don't even, are those guys getting paid in Canada dollars or USD? I have no idea
something
how that
dive
works.
Into next episode.
Yeah, what the hell's going on there? And before you come at me oh, baseball's not a level playing field with no salary cap or whatever. Let me tell you something. Every MLB owner could have afforded to give fucking Jacob deGrom the 5 years, 185. Every person that owns a Major League Baseball club is richer than you can imagine, right? It's just they choose not to spend the money. Because I guarantee you, in any city that there is a baseball team, if you spent the money, you'd get it right back. You'd get it back in the ticket sales. You'd get it back in the jersey sales. You'd get it back at concessions. I know I go to it because I'm a Steelers fan, so the city of Pittsburgh is close to me. The Pirates talking about fucking nutting, not spending money for them. Bro, that stadium was sold out when they were in the wild card game a couple years ago. If Nutting put money into the team, he'd get that right back. So don't come at me with the salary cap BS in baseball.
The only thing that might go against that, though, that argument, is my beloved Tropicana Field, because we know the Rays are dogs every year, but oh my God, you could get in that stadium and with $10 you're a damn king. You could sit behind home plate.
Corey's a big Tropicana Field guy.
But I definitely get what you mean. And while I did shit on the Rangers, I at least credit them for trying to be competitive.
That's the thing. Yeah, we got to credit them for giving a shit.
When I was shitting on them, that was more of a DeGrom.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm a little biased because I'm a Jets fan and a Knicks fan, and you're obviously a Yankees fan, so
Good day to
we
be
know
one.
the whole New York thing. Like, I'm just a big believer in that. Like, New York is
The Mecca. It's the king.
There's nothing like it. It's so much different than anywhere else. And if you win there, it's a big if because no one's really done it in a while. especially
When's the last time they had a
in the
ship?
3 professional sports leagues. I mean, the Giants was the last one. I mean, you're more of a hockey guy. Did anybody? I know the Islanders were in.
I know Chicago's had one recently. Pens went back-to-back not too long ago. Not on the top of my head.
But if you do win there, you're
royalty.
goddamn king, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the 86 Mets. Yeah. I mean, look at the guys from that team. They still talk about them. They, rave about them and everything, which they deserve that. But
I mean, the Jets have been holding on to Joe Namath for how many years now?
He's a legend. He's got his own shrine over here. Legend. But, yeah, that's what I meant by it. Like, DeGrom, I mean, he had it made in New York.
Yeah, and he walked away from it.
And we'll see what that stadium is like out in Texas, on nights that he pitches. I'm sure it'll be, pretty packed, but will it be Citi Field packed, Citi Field loud?
That's something to be told.
I don't
But
know.
let's switch to the team and why, because people are talking about DeGrom's thrown 26 starts over the last 2 seasons combined, okay? For a guy making as much as he is, that's not a lot at all. He's already 34. He's not getting any younger. He'll never make 30-plus starts in a year again. But this is why I love the move for the Texas Rangers. And I wrote this in my blog, basementsports.wordpress.com. Check it out. There's a bunch of great stuff on there as well. Follow us on all platforms as well, at Basement Sports. I love it because the Rangers are a super young team. Corey mentioned it. They weren't that good. Finished 4th in the AL West last year at 68 and 94.
That's
super
tough.
young team. 5 of their top 10 prospects are right-handed pitchers, including Jack Leiter, Owen White, and Cole Winn. Those 3 guys alone are absolute dogs, potentially. Like, they are projected to be dogs, I should say. Like, Jack Leiter, it's in the name, right? Like, it's in his blood to be an MLB All-Star, right? His dad, Al Leiter, was, a stud in his own right. Owen White came up, I believe, last year a little bit. If not, he was super high in the majors at AAA and showed flashes. Having DeGrom, like, who's better to learn from than Jacob DeGrom for those guys? There's not many that's better to learn from than Jacob DeGrom.
When healthy, I mean, he's probably a top 5 pitcher all time. I know that's like because he's not healthy all the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like, all right, what does that actually mean? But
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it.
He's
When
filthy.
that guy is healthy and he's on that mound, I mean,
Bro, his 2-year
dominates.
stretch when he won back-to-back Cy Youngs was, dare I say, the best 2-year stretch in baseball. Like, do I dare say it? Like,
it was up there.
I mean,
And it was almost even better when you look at the fact that like he had a losing record.
yeah,
He wasn't winning games. The Mets.
the
sucked.
Mets were. He had like a sub-2 ERA, and like I know, and this is why wins and losses as a pitcher is like bleh, right?
Yeah, it's losing its value.
But like the dude had a sub-2 and had a losing record. Like that just speaks volume. I remember there was one game in one of those 2 years where he won Cy Young. He won the game 1-0 because he threw a complete game shutout, and the one run was his solo homer that he hit when pitchers were
That
still
was the
hitting.
thing, yeah. He was like always responsible for the lone run that they had.
I mean, that's how fucking good this dude is, right? Like, I like the move for the Rangers. I mean, I'm all for people going to get their bag. DeGrom did that. I mean, he's getting.
I just think like that's a dude like he's made 2 postseason starts. I want to see him in the postseason. I don't know if it's gonna come in Texas. We'll see.
And I definitely get that side of it. Now let's flip back to the New York Metropolitans. What did they do to replace one of the best pitchers in baseball?
The sky was falling one day for them. It was a complete meltdown, which we'll talk in a few minutes if that was warranted and everything with that contract. But the Mets came back. Uncle Steve Cohen made his move. He opened up that wallet and he paid another guy that is arguably one of the greatest pitchers of all time, who's pitching as good as he ever has at age 39, coming off Tommy John.
Dare I say top 10 pitcher of all time?
I was gonna go for 10 too.
Yeah, I mean like Justin Verlander, like
consistent for.
There's some guys
years.
where you don't realize how good they are when they're still playing and stuff. I think the year he missed, 2021 now. Right, the year he missed, I think, especially me, because I've been an anti-Verlander guy when he was in Houston. He always dominated the Yankees. It felt like no matter where he was, whether he's in Detroit or when he got to Houston. But like that year he missed, it was like I look back and I was like, bro, like we're literally like in the midst of like one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Like he is so good. Like he's a first ballot Hall of Famer without a doubt. Like there's no question about it. And like Oso just said, 39 years old, coming off Tommy John, and just delivered one of the best seasons you could have.
10, 20 years ago, Tommy John was a death sentence.
Yeah.
Go back 50 years ago, and I don't even have anything to describe it. Now people get Tommy John just like, it's like a haircut. He's going to get a touch-up and everything. And they come back better than ever.
Yeah.
What the,
shout out science, right?
Modern day medicine.
Shout out doctors.
It baffles me. But, yeah, we could sit here and rave about Verlander all day. And credit to the Mets. They lost one of the best in the game, but they came back and they got another one of the best in the game. A guy who is probably a little, he did miss all of 2021, but he's been healthier in his career. He doesn't miss too many starts. A lot of postseason experience. Reuniting him with Max Scherzer. Both of them played in Detroit years ago, a team that I know went to the ALCS in 2013. I believe they were even in a World Series too.
They lost to the Giants one year.
And I think it was 14. We should be doing our fact checking, but
we suck.
Whatever.
It was 2012.
Just know that they pitched together and they were good.
That rotation was filthy, dude. Like that rotation, if they stayed together.
Anibal
Sanchez, yeah, he was the one I was thinking of. That rotation was filthy,
Yeah.
but having them two back together, is that the best 1-2 punch in baseball? Atop of rotation?
It's got to be.
It might not even be the best in New York. Garrett Cole, Nestor Cortez. I'm just saying.
Two people too with good postseason experience as well, and
yeah,
that's what,
two veterans.
Yeah, that's the expectations. That's the bar for the Mets. It's
It's
get there, but it's also to win. They got there last year and they didn't come through. They lost, and a lot of people were pissed. A lot of people were upset. They got to get back to the dance. They got to win, and Verlander's gonna help them out.
I, as a Yankee fan, naturally, am a Met hater. Everyone, even Mets fans talk about the collapse they had last year. I'll be the first to defend. That was not a collapse. That was an Atlanta Braves go and get it.
It was more Atlanta than New York.
Exactly. It was more Atlanta's well-doing than New York's collapsing. Nonetheless, they had a chance to end the division race in Atlanta, with 3 games left in the year, and they didn't do it, right?
They got their butts whooped.
And then they go into the playoffs, and they have DeGrom, and they have Scherzer ready to go, and they lose, right? For a team that has a payroll atop the league, top 3-4 payroll in the league, that's just not going to cut it. Steve Cohen talked the talk. He came in and he did what he said he was going to do. He was going to spend money, get the players, and build a contender. He's done that. Now they got to walk the walk for him. And they've got to put it all together and win. At the end of the day, you don't put something on this finger, you didn't get the job done.
It's New York, too. They expect big results.
Exactly.
Even though they haven't
it comes with the territory. It's just what
Let me ask you, because we're talking about both of them, are the Mets better off or worse off with this move? Are they better off with Verlander or worse off with him losing DeGrom?
I think they're better off with Verlander. I think they're better off now than they were if they contract stayed the same. If Verlander signed for 2 for $86 somewhere else and DeGrom stayed in New York for 5 for $185, I would have preferred that the Mets taken Verlander for the 2 for $86.
It's tough for me because I think right now it's probably better. They're probably better off Verlander. They got him for 2 years. It's a team that, especially if they could add some of the finishing touches to that roster, could win a championship.
Yeah.
And just where Verlander's at, the season he's coming off of, he's been healthier, maybe a little bit more reliable as far as just being out there.
Yeah.
So I think that they're better off, in the present, in the immediate future. But if you were to tell me that, DeGrom's going to be relatively healthy over that contract, then how do you not go with him? Because he is, if he's not the best pitcher in the game, he's the second best pitcher in the game. And if you're telling me that over the span of 5 years, if he's going to give you, maybe 30 starts a year, something around that.
That's a lot for him.
25, 30. Then it would be that, but that's getting into talking hypotheticals.
Yeah.
Knowing what we do know, I'll slightly take Verlander, and I'll give it to the Mets. Another thing, though, not to interrupt you, like the contract too. 5 years, 185 for a guy that hasn't pitched too is dangerous territory.
Yeah.
And not necessarily something you want to get into. And that's what I was alluding to earlier. The sky was falling for Mets fans and everything. But, some of the more logical ones out there, yeah, you're heartbroken and everything. It sucks. But 5 years, 185 for a guy who hasn't pitched that much over the past few years. That's a lot of money to give out.
And I could see, okay, the sky was falling great. As soon as you got Verlander, bro, who gives, I get you have an emotional detachment to DeGrom. Trust me, if we lost Garrett Cole and replaced him with Justin Verlander, I would be what the, come on, I'd be heartbroken. I'd be a little bit disheartened too, because I have, that connection, and I get Mets fans have that connection to DeGrom. But, at the end of the day, you got to sit back and be all right, listen, we know Verlander's going to be healthy. Outside of the Tommy John, he's been healthy. And this is a dude that has 100, nope, that's not the right number, 34 games started in the postseason in his career. 34! That's a full season's worth. And he's been good. 16-11. I know we just shit on wins and losses, but in the playoffs they mean a little bit more. Exactly. 3.64 ERA, 230 Ks to just 68 walks. And walks are always up in the postseason a little bit for pitchers because you're a lot more, in a 1-0 game, you're never pitching to, a David Ortiz, an Aaron Judge, guys like that. So walks are a little bit higher in the postseason for pitchers, I feel at least. And then I know everyone's gonna knock Verlander for the World Series appearances. Yes, he's 1-6 in the World Series.
Got the monkey off his back though.
That's the thing. Once that lid's off that basket, the buckets start flying. 9 career starts in the World Series too. He's been there. He knows what it's like. He knows what it's like to pitch in a packed stadium, booing the hell out of him or cheering on for him. He knows what it's like, and I think that's so invaluable, or so extremely valuable, to a team that is looking to get back to the mountaintop.
Mets fans, don't be upset. Last 3 years, DeGrom, 11 starts, 15 starts, 12 starts.
One of them was a short season.
Yep, my bad. 2020. We try to forget COVID.
We try.
We try to put it in the rear view, but you get my point.
Yeah, most definitely.
It's tough to dish out money for that.
But
Mets fans, everything they've been through, that guy's gonna have fucking 35 starts.
He's a hammer Jacob DeGrom for AL Cy Young next year. You know that's how it's gonna go. Frank the Tank is gonna be in
going
shambles.
one way or the other, and unfortunately, the way that things have gone for the Mets and Mets fans,
they've still got pieces too. They gotta get Nimmo back or get an outfielder out there. Yeah. They got a couple more. They got a couple more things they got to do before they're NL East favorites, because that NL East is a fucking wagon. Speaking of the NL East, let's talk about a guy I'm sure you miss. Dave Dombrowski took over in Philly. Took over in Philly and wasted no time. Already brought him to the World Series. Right?
AD is cooking with grease.
They're the defending NL champs. What did they do this offseason to get over that hump? Let me give Trey Turner $300 million. Let me sign Taijuan Walker. Let me sign Matt Strahm. And we're just going to retool and refuel and head into next year as a potential favorite to win the National League yet again.
They are beasts. Aaron Nola, who they got in that rotation, is one of the more underrated pitchers in the game.
Oh, yeah.
You add Strahm to the bullpen. I got to watch a lot of him last year with the Red Sox. He's not a bad pitcher. He's
serviceable.
At his best, he's pretty darn good, and that's what you hope to get out of him. And Trey Turner.
Trey fucking Turner.
One of the best shortstops in the game.
And what were they missing all the playoff run that you were like, man, this team really could use? It was a leadoff man. Yep. What the fuck is Trey Turner? One of the best leadoff men in baseball. He's going to hit for average, and yes, I'm a batting average guy, okay? Sue me. I don't give a fuck. I like people that hit the ball, okay?
You don't need both.
He's a 300 career hitter, okay? That means something to me. I don't give a fuck what you think about batting average. It means something to me. 300 career hitter for Trey Turner. He's stolen, I think, 20 bags in consecutive. He might not have been the COVID year, but he's done it for years on years now. And, with the way baseballs are flying lately, he's got a little pop in the bat. With the ballparks in the NL East, he's going to lead the league in triples for the next 3 to 4 years.
Him, I'm just like, this just came to mind, just thinking about it. Him, Harper, Schwarber, Rhys Hoskins.
Bro, think about it. Not for nothing. You go Turner, Schwarber, Hoskins. You want Harper to get more at bats than in the 4-hole. But, really, you just named 5 guys. 3 righties, 2 lefties. You can go right, left, right, and then
Segura.
good luck good luck matching up in the bullpen. I know you got to face 3 guys, so it's a little bit different now, anyways. But like
that
lineup is fucking
terrifying,
deep,
terrifying.
And they
let's not sleep on Tylan Walker too. They replaced Kyle Gibson, who wasn't that good last year. I had him on my fantasy team. They replaced him with Walker, who was also on my fantasy team for a stretch and was pretty darn solid. I mean, if there's one thing about Dombrowski, the guy spends.
Yeah, he don't give a fuck.
He spends and he delivers. He went to the World Series last year. He won one with the Red Sox. He went with the Tigers.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy gives you results and you win. And I mean,
and I love teams that do that, by the way.
I mean, yeah, these owners, they might, not like spending as much because it's their money. You talked about it earlier, but you also like it when you win, and winning brings in money.
Exactly.
I guess somewhere along the lines, some people, not gonna point fingers quite yet, some people in the Northeast forgot that when you fucking win, you pack the stands and you make money. Spend it and win. Also, Dombrowski was with the Marlins too. They went to a World Series and won one.
Yeah.
Four places, his last 4 stops. I think the guy knows a little bit of what he's doing. I mean, he might be a little bit over the top.
Sometimes you gotta be.
But we want to win. We're here to win. You should be.
You should be.
You should be.
I love teams that go all in. That's why I was all for the Rams winning last year. I know it's a different sport. But it's the same concept. Go the fuck all in and win, dude. Fuck them picks. And in baseball, it's fuck them prospects, right? Like, there's no guarantee. You could show me all the highlights of Jason Dominguez, of fucking Jeter Downs is one that people have been shitting on today, talking about prospects that haven't panned out because he's looked really bad every time he's come up. You can show me all the highlights of these kids. There's no guarantee they're going to be anything, right? We
want immediate results. We want proven commodities. We don't want our MLB team to suck in. Hey, our minor league team's good.
No, you want it the other way around.
That's not why we're here.
It's not. You know why we are here, though? To get into the fun stuff. Let's fucking do it, baby. Let's start with the great news of the winter meetings. Aaron Judge, the king of New York, the reigning AL MVP.
Don't you mean Arson Judge?
We'll fucking get to that. The reigning AL MVP. The AL king when it comes to home runs. He almost won the fucking Triple Crown last year. 9 years, $360 million. He don't got one yet. Keyword fucking yet. But he's back, baby. He's fucking back. The king of New York had more money on the table elsewhere. He said, fuck it. I want to be the king of New York. I want to be the captain of the New York goddamn Yankees. Let's do it. 99 is back.
He wanted to come back and get booed. Is he the first guy to
He's definitely
not the first guy to make $300+ million and get booed, because there's been a lot of buzz.
Stanton's gotten booed quite a bit. But you know what the thing is? Fucking everyone bashes Giancarlo Stanton. Nobody handles New York media like fucking Giancarlo Stanton. The dude's a king at it. He'll fucking strike out 5 times, get his ass booed. He'll stand there and be like, I sucked ass today. Why wouldn't I get booed? And then he'll come out and hit a dong in the next 3 at-bats. Nobody handles the media better than him. Aaron Judge knows what comes with the territory. I've had people be like, oh, he's leaving. You booed him in the playoffs. Damn right we fucking booed him in the playoffs. He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a goddamn boat. We talked about the fucking pressures in New York. You don't perform, you're going to get fucking booed. Judge knows that. He knows that comes with the territory. But he also knows, like we've mentioned already today, that if you fucking win and perform in New York, you're fucking royalty. For life. When's the last time Hideki Matsui paid for a meal when he's in New York visiting? He hasn't. Okay? I guarantee it.
Does he visit New York a lot?
He's always there because they put everyone in the fucking Monument Park. So he's always there. So
Spec Shea in there. It all gets up great. Spec Shea.
He fucking should be. But no, Matsui obviously legend. But Aaron Judge is fucking back. You mentioned Arson Judge. Let's dive into that. So today's Thursday. What was it? Tuesday night? John Heyman tweets, Arson Judge and the San Francisco Giants are reportedly coming to terms with the deal, or something. I'm paraphrasing.
Let's just start with the Arson Judge. He's breaking the biggest news of the MLB season, off-season, some of the biggest news in sports this year. Well, I mean, one of the biggest things revolving the Yankees in some time, and the guy can't even type his name right. Granted, I get it. You're trying to go quick. You can get it out there
I get it,
before
but
all these other guys. But Arson Judge, man? Don't you have spell check too? You told me you've never typed Aaron Judge in your phone on Twitter.
I gotta fix my phone because my fucking whenever I type Aaron Judge's name, it autocorrects to all caps because every time he would go deep, I would tweet that.
So that's I get that a lot too.
But like,
crazy.
Yeah. So Heyman fucking tweets that on Tuesday night.
But that's the arson part. Isn't even the biggest fuck up.
No, the part is that he got the fucking whole thing wrong. I mean, what are we doing, Heyman? I mean.
Nobody is held less accountable for their work than media members.
Maybe Weatherman.
Yeah, maybe Weatherman. Or in our world, media members, analysts. Yeah. I mean, I feel like once you work your way up and get to a certain point, you can say whatever the hell you want, do whatever the hell you want, and nobody really cares.
Yeah.
Like, people might call you out on it, but 2 days later, it is what it is.
Like,
if we did that here with our massive following that we have, people would call us out and they'd cancel Basement Sports.
They would.
Which, if you're not following us, follow on all platforms.
At Basement Sports.
But, like, how does that happen? How does that happen? Who's telling you that?
He must have had a source.
He obviously had a source, but how reliable is he? I mean, this source better be pretty damn reliable.
So
it better be the freaking GM of the San Francisco Giants or somebody close to the dude.
So I'll say this. There was a beat reporter in San Fran. I don't know her name. Again, show stinks. I didn't do my homework. All night Tuesday, she was tweeting and saying... And I did my homework on Tuesday night to check to make sure she was legit. She actually does write for some paper in San Fran. And she was saying, I haven't confirmed it, but I can confirm the rumblings among Giants players that they all believe he's coming, this and that. So, unless they were both lying to us, there definitely was smoke and flames there for Aaron Judge going to San Fran.
I thought he was going, but...
And let me tell you, Yankees fucking Twitter was in we were in shambles, okay? I immediately tweeted... It was like, I think in all cap, I deleted the tweet as soon as I found out that John Heyman's a fucking idiot. But I literally tweeted, I was like, I hope Brian Cashman has the worst holiday of his life. I was like, I fucking hate this guy. This guy deserves nothing but hell this upcoming month. And, like, I was so livid. And Yankees Twitter was with me. Like, everyone was, like, up in arms about this. The Red Sox fans were quick to jump the fuck gun. They were having a great time, right? Karma's a bitch, ain't it? And then Heyman's like, what was it, 13 minutes after the fact? He was like, I might have jumped the gun.
My bad on that.
What the fuck do you mean, John Heyman?
I needed that Men in Black.
Yeah.
Like, that didn't happen.
Right? So then, I'm like, okay, this has to end tonight. Like, my fucking heart can't handle this. We gotta do something tonight, right? And it doesn't. We have to wait until Wednesday morning. The news breaks. The deal comes out 9 for $360, and all is well as a Yankees fan. Although a couple hours earlier, we did lose Jameson Taillon to the Cubs. That one stinks. We are going to need another arm. Hashtag bring Carlos Rodon to New York. But you had to bring Judge back, okay? I'll let you speak your 2 cents on how you feel about this Judge deal, and then I'll rebuttal. But I could go on and on.
First off, we're shitting on Heyman. John Heyman, you want to defend yourself. Come on, Basement Sports, baby.
Let's fucking go, John.
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, we got to know.
But Judge.
62 dongs.
Listen, I will be one. I'll admit I am one of those guys. If you lost him, I would have been shoving it down your throat, celebrating him. And now that you did re-sign him, I'm going to tell you about how it's not a great move. Similar to kind of like the Mets letting DeGrom walk and bring in Verlander. Listen, 9 years, 360 is a lot.
It's a long time.
It's a lot for anybody.
I'll be 31.
It's especially a lot for someone who's in his 30s. For someone who has been injury prone. He was healthy last year. We'll see if that continues.
Time the fuck out. Aaron Judge is not injury prone. Outside of one major wrist injury, he's been relatively healthy for his entire career. Okay? He's 6'7" and plays one of the most demanding, especially last year. He played one of the most demanding positions in baseball, and he played 150-something games. Okay? Like, I don't want to fucking hear that he's injury prone.
He had a stretch. 2019, 102 games.
I think that was a wrist injury.
2019, 102 games. 2018, 112. It's not a bad amount, but he ain't giving you like 140 plus.
What did he play this year?
I said this year and even last year, I'll give it to him. He's been healthier, but he has had had some problems in the past.
One wrist injury.
He's going to be 31 next year. He hasn't played great in the postseason. He hasn't won in the postseason. So,
hey, he should have a ring from 2017, but the Astros were cheating. I'm just fucking.
As a Red Sox fan, I am upset that you guys signed him because I would have loved to celebrate that, much like the roles have been reversed. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sweating it that much. You look at
famous last words.
You could, put that on TikTok, put that out there. I, Corey Plasky, am not sweating it that much.
Every time he homers against the Red Sox, I'm tweeting. I'm fucking tweeting that.
That's more so of them winning a championship. But you look at that team, that roster. They haven't brought in anybody really new.
They got it. Okay, I'll say this, right? I'll defend them. The roster's worse right now than it was when the season ended. I get that. I agree. We need probably 2 more outfielders. I'd love to get rid of JD, and I'd love to lose IKF. Neither of those latter are happening, and I think you need another arm, because especially when you lost Tyone. Glaber's going to get moved for pitching at some point, or an outfielder if we go that route. And then, if you don't move Glaber for an outfielder, you're going to have to sign. I really wanted the guy from Japan who the Red Sox got, but
you could have him.
Might as well. That franchise is going to get blown up by June. But listen, you have a better chance of winning with Judge than you do without. Because if you were going to save the money from Judge and spend it like you did in 2008,
would the Nationals though have said that about Bryce Harper when they won a championship without him?
Listen, that's an anomaly. That is an anomaly.
That actually happened, though.
It's an anomaly. It's an anomaly.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm not sweating this because...
Let me know how the Red Sox do next year after losing X. If you win the championship next year after losing X, I'll come back and admit that I was fucking wrong.
It's the same team. They've even lost a few guys. They've got guys on the team that they want to get rid of. And you're handcuffed a little bit with that contract, with that money. I get it's the Yankees. They can't spend.
By the time that contract's over, there's going to be fucking people playing as good as you and me making $40 million a year.
George is down here. Nobody's...
George is up there. Put some respect on my guy's fucking name here.
They've shown you that they don't spend that much. And when they they got 2 contracts. Him... Judges and Coles. Who's the third one?
Stanton.
I was
3 of them over 300.
But you know better than me. I know the Marlins are taking care of some of that.
Yeah, not a whole bunch, but.
But yeah, they're over $1 billion.
The 3 of them.
Yeah. For 3 players.
Yeah.
Who else? They're gonna go out and get a couple guys in free agency, but are they gonna go out and get any more big dogs? Maybe Rodon. Maybe.
I would love Rodon.
I think he's a pipe dream. But, it's the same team that hasn't accomplished anything since 2009. It's the same thing that, every year, it's our year. Chase for 28. We're going to do it. We're fucking savages in the box, this and that. They're going to love Boone in a few months, and then they're going to hate him a month and a day later. I'm not worried. Sure, Aaron Judge is a great player. He's one of the best in the game, but the rest of that team... doesn't scare me that much. They're not adding too many more pieces. If anything, maybe they'll call out. I know they got a lot of good young guys and good prospects. That could change things for them. But I would have been maybe a little more scared if they didn't bring back Judge. And then maybe they're throwing out some money to Ohtani, trying to get him in a trade and then sign him to a deal. If they're trying to go out and get some other big names. If they went out and got a Turner, a Correa.
That's my defense for this, right? We saw it in 2000 and technically the 2008 offseason going into 2009. Instead of getting one fish, what they went out and got Teixeira, they went out and got CC, they went out and got, there was a couple more guys they went out and got. Those were the 2 big ones, though. They got Teixeira and CC in the room, and then they win the World Series in 2009. If you didn't sign Judge, ideally I would have been like, okay, well, you now need Correa, Rodon, and Verlander or DeGrom.
Which would have been possible. I think
2 of them were already off the market by the time you signed Judge. Obviously,
the timing would have had to been better and everything.
But
But it would have.
They weren't gonna fucking do that, and not for nothing. Like I mentioned with the Mets, the emotional attachment. Cashman just fucking got a 4-year extension.
I was just gonna mention that.
That's
why I'm also not worried.
In its own right,
Good
sucks.
guy, but bad GM.
In its own right, kind of sucks. I get that, right? But he just signed a 4-year extension. What's the quickest way to lose the fan base? Let
Absolutely.
the reigning AL MVP win.
I agree with you there.
He had to do this. It was the only decision. I'll eat the fucking back end of this contract if we win. I didn't care about eating A-Rod's contract because A-Rod won in 09. Let me tell you. I don't give a... And everyone... I've had so many people point the Cano contract to me because guess who's paying Cano $24 million next year? Seattle Mariners. Yeah, that's right. He's still got one more fucking year on that 10-year deal, and it's next year. So the Mariners are paying $24 million to a guy that's not going to swing a bat in the bigs next year. But... Cano didn't win shit in Seattle, so it sucks. If Judge wins in New York, I'd prefer 2. I think they have a 5-year window starting next year. Because eventually, Judge and Stanton are going to be full-time DHs, and you can only DH one of them. So eventually, this is going to be a dumpster fire. I'm going to be the first to admit that this will be a dumpster fire in about 5 years. Until then, though...
When Basement Sports is big by then...
You have a fucking window.
We'll reference that.
Yeah, we have a fucking window. A 5-year window, right? Cole is still... very good.
This is how big the window is. And the Astros are peeking through.
Dude, fuck that team, dude. They're our fucking daddy, and I'll be the first to admit it, and I fucking hate it. Cole is still very good. Nestor is Nestor. Give me another arm.
Garrett Cole is the biggest loser in Major League Baseball and all of sports.
You must have forgot about Russell Wilson.
Sucks. I could not root for that guy.
Russell Wilson is much bigger of a loser.
He is, but... Cole's a crybaby. At least I don't hear Russell Wilson cry. And at least Russell Wilson has Sierra. As bad as he is, at least we could fall back on that.
Hey, Amy Cole is no slouch, right?
She ain't no Sierra.
They have a 5-year window. They gotta fucking win. I'd like 2, but if you could get 1, you know. My uncle, I remember in 09 when we won, my uncle...
You remember that? What were you, like 2 then? That's how long... 09.
I was fucking 9 years old.
Did we have flat screen TVs in 09? Like the ones I got behind me?
I don't know. Let me
remember
tell you.
09.
I remember 09 much better than you remember 04 that you claim to remember. So I don't want to fucking hear it. All right?
Choke.
He don't remember 04 at all. He's full
I remember
of shit.
running around
He
this
don't
basement,
remember shit.
butt-ass naked.
He's been told that story. He don't remember
I
nothing.
remember that vividly.
Kid was 5. He don't remember nothing.
We're streaking to the quads after we swept the Cardinals, baby.
I remember 09 like it was yesterday. And I remember my uncle saying, I want to be alive to see 30. And I love Uncle Dave, and he's in great shape. But Uncle Dave is getting there, and we got to start getting some rings.
You set the bar way too high, Uncle Dave. You might have to lower that. We got to
get to 30 for Uncle Dave before you.
Maybe we'll just settle for making the World Series.
He's still got 30 some years left.
If he had 50 left,
he's still got great.
I don't know. I don't feel good about you seeing 30.
I guarantee.
I don't feel good about your nephew seeing 30.
I guarantee you, the Yankees win 3 more before the Sox even win 1 more. Fucking screen record it, post it everywhere.
Money will have to be put on that.
The Yankees will win 3 World Series before the Sox get
anyways, one. It was a lose-lose.
It wasn't.
If you didn't sign him, I was gonna shit on you for it. And you did sign him for an insane amount, and I'm gonna shit on you for it. That's the reality of the Red Sox-Yankee rivalry. That's the reality of these massive contracts. Freaking 9 years, 360.
Listen, Harper still got 9 for 222, something like that on his. He's already been to a World Series. He wins another. They're going to eat the back of it.
Who was the first player
Pujols
to be like, dude, I ain't signing for that 4 or 5 year thing. Give me that 9.
Pujols, I think Pujols.
With the
Angels. I think he was the first.
Was it not A-Rod, though?
Yeah. A-Rod got, I think, 7 or 10, yeah. A-Rod was an extension, though, really. I think Pujols was the first free agent to be like,
true.
I want that. Now let the real fun begin. Let the real fun begin. This morning, I woke up to fabulous news that the Sox Nation beloved Xander Bogaerts has signed an 11-year, $280 million deal to play baseball for the San Diego Padres all the way out west, while the Sox fans sit here and cry that their team absolutely fucking stinks.
Does that mean it's my turn?
I'll sit here and watch you cry if you want.
One thing is, I'm going to be real about my team. I'm not going to lie to myself about how we're good.
I didn't lie about
how we're we're good. We got a window and we're going to win.
It's because you don't have a window.
We not only do, it's not like that we suck.
No, you
I don't want to take it out on the players in that clubhouse because they don't deserve this rap. We are so bad in that front office that it's not even funny. It's ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
I mean, it is funny to him, but even if he sat back to really think about it and just evaluate it from a baseball perspective, it's terrible. For a team and a franchise in an ownership group especially that has won 4 championships, nobody has ran a worse organization. How John Henry and that Fenway group have 4 rings is beyond me because they are pathetic excuses of an ownership group. The way that they treat us fans and these players is just beyond me. Beyond me. We pack Fenway Park from March to October. If we make it.
Yeah, I was going to say, when's the last time you had it?
We spend $12 on drinks, $12 on sausages.
The stadium's not even that nice.
We spend all the money. We watch Nesson. We do all this, and you treat us like garbage, like shit. It's unreal. It's unreal. I saw this day coming. I've seen it coming for some time. We've all seen it coming since that asshole Chaim, what a fucking joke of a name, Chaim Bloom took over as our GM or whatever the hell his position is. I don't even care. From the Tampa Bay Rays. We brought in a guy from Tampa Bay Rays. All respect to them. What they do over there, it's a lot like what Billy Beane did in Oakland. They don't have much money, but they make the most out of it and they win. Good for them. Why are we trying to model what we do in Boston, Massachusetts? Why are we trying to model what we do after the Tampa Bay Rays? The Red Sox get more fans at Fenway Park in a month than Tropicana Field. All due respect to them. Love that place. They get more fans in a month than they get in a year. We have 100 times the amount of money that they have. Why are we not spending it? Why?
Isn't it beautiful?
Bloom.
Isn't it beautiful?
He ruined my day, my week, my month, the holiday season. Christmas is ruined. And he ruined my experience in lifetime as a Red Sox fan. I'm so done. I'm so done. I have all these notes. I got a lot of things to say. I don't even know where to start.
You want to see it one more time? This is so awesome. I love it. This is awesome, dude.
If anything we make out of that, it's good that he's reunited with Don Orsillo. Another terrible move by this ownership group, which owns Nesson, which Donnie O used to work for, and we got rid of him. So good for Don and good for Xander that they get to
enjoy life in San Diego.
4-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, 2-time World Series champ, a .292 career average, 7 seasons of 144-plus games, one of the best dudes in a locker room, one of the most respected guys around the league, and we let him walk. We let him walk for nothing. That hurts. What hurts even more is that we treated him like shit. We treated him like he meant nothing. And he meant a lot to us fans. He meant a lot to the people that watch every night and that pack Fenway Park. He didn't mean a lot to the guy that came from Tampa Bay a few years ago. Clearly didn't mean a lot to that ownership group. 11 years, $280 million. That's a lot of money. $25 million a year. It is a lot of money.
Price you gotta pay. It's the price you gotta pay. I'm just saying.
I know. I mean, you wouldn't have given him that, I assume.
Xander? No, I've been on the big train of actually, I think my exact words to my buddy Derek, shout out Derek, I know you're watching, we're the fucking Yankees go sign everybody, and when they suck in April, cut them and eat the money because we're the fucking Yankees.
If you're the Red Sox or any other team, would you have given 11 for 280?
If I was the Red Sox, I would have signed them a year and a half ago.
Well, we'll get to that. So for the people out there that are like, yeah, it's tough and everything, but 11 years, 280, you couldn't do that. Obviously, you couldn't do that.
But if you win in the first 5 years, who gives a fuck about the back half?
The guy's going to be 41 by the end of this. I don't know if this is worth it. But it shouldn't have even gotten to this point. They dicked around with Xander Bogaerts like they did with everybody else for so long, and now it's bitten them in the ass, and they could care less, but we do. My whole day was ruined. But
starting at 3:30 in the morning.
Let me take you through what the Red Sox offered me.
Oh man, this is great.
I love this. In the spring last year, when a contract should have been made, 4 years, $90 million. 4 years, $90 million. That's 7 years and $190 million off what he just got. Fast forward to now, when they're doing negotiations with him in the past few days, I heard 6 years, $162, which is $27 million a year. But the one big thing with Bogaerts is he wanted the years, he wanted that long-term sustainability, everything like that, and they weren't willing to give that to him, and they weren't willing to give him the money. They weren't willing to treat him with the respect that he deserved. And I don't get it. I don't get it. It's one thing if the Red Sox didn't spend money. Like, it's one thing if they're like, oh, we just have to save money, we're not going to spend, we are going to run this ship like the Tampa Bay Rays and just not give out these big contracts. It would be stupid, it'd be idiotic, but at least if you did that and just did that, then at least you're standing by something. But the Red Sox do spend. They spend on the people that didn't come through this system and give their hearts and souls to the city of Boston. They spend on Trevor Story, 6 years, $140 million, which is $23 million a year. They spend on fucking Masataka Yoshida.
On base machine.
Gave him 5 years, $90 million.
On base machine.
$21 million a year.
Plus the post.
I don't know if I buy into all these reports, but there's been a lot coming out that executives are like, what the hell were they doing giving him that much money? I don't know if I buy that. I mean, I hope it is true because I hope they just get embarrassed. But to my point, if you're not going to spend, don't spend. They do spend, but they don't spend on the people that deserve to be spent on. The guys that have given you everything, the Mookie Bettses, the John Lesters, the Xander Bogaerts.
They went year to year with Poppy for how many years?
Exactly. They dicked around with David Ortiz for years. Dustin Pedroia, I mentioned this in my blog, if the guy didn't love baseball more than anything in the world, if he didn't love it more than oxygen, he wouldn't have signed that bullshit contract that he did, that did a favor for the Red Sox. Now, I know he didn't play a lot of games in it, he dealt with some injuries, but he gave them more than a hometown discount. And I don't know if they expect that. I don't know if they expect, Xander Bogaerts to say, hey, these guys, they drafted me or they signed me. They took care of me. I won here. I'll throw them a bone. I'll give them a break. That's not going to happen. That's never happened in the history of sports. These guys want money. They want to be paid what they deserve, what they're worth. And to not pay them, to pay Trevor Story, it was a good fun move last year. They built a winning team last year, bringing him in. But I remember sitting back thinking, like, do we need this guy? We have a shortstop, but we also have a shortstop that he needs a contract. He needs that 6 years, 140 plus. He needed a little bit more money than that. But why didn't we throw that money in those years at him then? Because if we did then, he would have signed. He would still be here. We dicked around with him in those prices, the years, the expectations went up. But no, we dicked around. Pathetic. And I'm not done. I just need a water break.
Follow us on all platforms at BasedMent Sports. Sox fans are an absolute shambles. X wants you to follow at BasedMent Sports. This is what Xander Bogaerts would want. Okay? Look, Oso. Doesn't he look so good?
They gave Trevor Story 6 years, 140.
Doesn't he look so good?
Xander Bogaerts is better than him.
What do you mean? Trevor
He's a
Story's a great hitter.
He's a leader in this clubhouse. He's won a championship.
Trevor Story hits dongs, dude. What do you mean?
And we paid that guy over him. It's a slap in the face to Bogaerts. It's a slap in the face to the fans. Chaim Bloom. When he came to Boston in 2019, he inherited a team that won a World Series in 18, a pretty good lineup. But more importantly, he inherited Mookie Betts, 27 years old, Xander Bogaerts, 27 years old, Andrew Benintendi, 25 years old, Rafael Devers, 23. Not many teams out there have that kind of young talent.
No.
That kind of young talent that has already been proven in the league. That kind of young talent that already has a World Series ring. Already has the playoff experience. All of that. Fast forward to now. Betts is gone. Bogaerts is gone. Benintendi's gone. Devers is here for the time being. I have no faith that he'll be back. And all that we got in return is Alex Verdugo, who I love the guy. He's good. He's a good starter in the MLB. But that's our best return for Mookie Betts. That's all we got out of losing these three guys. He turned a gold mine into a pile of shit. That's what he did.
They're in shambles! What a shame! You hate to see it!
Took over for Dombrowski. Dombrowski was in Boston 5 seasons, 4 full seasons. He came in 2015, I believe, but he came well into the season. In 4 full seasons, Dombrowski made the playoffs 3 times, won a World Series. His record was 396 wins, 277 losses. And the guy, all he did was acquire Chris Sale, get David Price, J.D. Martinez, Craig Kimbrell, and Steve Pearce, among many other things that he did. That's who Bloom took over for and has absolutely shit the bed since. And talking about Dombrowski, why was Dombrowski let go? Because our ownership group sucks ass. They're pathetic. I mentioned it earlier. No ownership group, no franchise or organization in all of sports has been as successful but as bad as the Boston Red Sox. John Henry, Tom Warner, Sam Kennedy. You're terrible. You're terrible. You treat us with disrespect. You treat us like shit. You treat us like we don't matter. And that's speaking, us is speaking for the fans and these players. Since 2004, we've let Nomar go. We've let Pedro go. Manny, Lester, Mookie, Benintendi, Vasquez, and now Xander Bogaerts.
All right, let's not act like Vasquez is like, it's a little roller.
Lester left, won a World Series.
Dog.
Mookie left and won a World Series.
Dog.
Vasquez left and won a World Series.
Okay.
Vasquez, another homegrown guy, solid talent. We'll just let him go. And just, we talked about the Bogaerts contract and them just not being on the same page, not even being in the same stratosphere. How about this for John Lester? The last contract he was offered by the Red Sox, 4 years, $70 million. Obviously didn't sign it because he's worth a hell of a lot more than that. Got traded. They were hoping to get him in free agency the following offseason. He signed with the Cubs. 6 years, $155 million. That's 2 more years than what the Red Sox offered and $85 million more. They're not even in the same stratosphere with these contracts that they're offering their homegrown guys. which tells me one thing. They don't even want him. They don't even want him around. They're saying, hey, maybe we'll get lucky and you stick around and, we'll celebrate then. But if not, you could go. And Lester did go and he won a World Series and the guy's going to be a Hall of Famer. Same with Mookie. Same with Bogaerts. And we're at the point where, if Bogaerts finishes out this contract, 11 years till he's 41, he will have played more years in a Padres uniform than a Red Sox one.
Yo, when he makes the Hall of Fame and he goes in with that Padres cap on, oh, that's gonna feel so good. Yeah. And then when Devers goes in with a different cap on,
Mookie Betts.
Oh, that's gonna feel so good.
Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts is going in with that Dodger hat on, that LAD on the top.
And while I went through all the transactions that ownership group,
the best part was, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Did they openly say that Mookie deal was so they had money to keep other? Did they openly say that?
That was the point I was gonna make too. You trade Mookie to pay Bogaerts and Devers. You get rid of Benintendi and get assets, so you don't have to pay him, and then you can use that money to pay Bogaerts and Devers. Where's that money going? Why are we getting rid of these guys? To pay the next guys? That we won't pay? You got rid of Mookie. That sucked. It was terrible. But at the same time, it was like, all right, the guy was going to need a shit ton of money. And if we signed him, we'd run the risk of losing these other guys. Well, now we've lost them all and we have nobody. That's pathetic. We got Trevor Story and this guy from Japan that they signed. They threw 5 years, $90 million at a dude that's 29 and hasn't played an MLB game yet. 29. Xander Bogaerts is 30. 30. And I already went through his accolades and everything he's accomplished, and he's going to accomplish a hell of a lot more.
They look so much better when they're not in Red Sox radar, don't they? I mean, doesn't Mookie look so
good? We let all these guys walk. All of our homegrown guys go so we could sign fucking Pablo Sandoval, Carl Crawford, Adrian Gonzalez. We have no problem paying them, but we have a problem paying the guys that have been here and have been successful for us. Oh, man. We talked about the New York market. We'll talk about the Boston market, too. It's tough to play in. Why are we taking the chances on guys playing out in Colorado, guys playing out in Japan, guys playing in Tampa Bay where fans don't give a shit? Why are we paying them to be like the guys that we already have that have already done it in Boston?
Pablo Sandoval didn't even play a full 162 for the Sox. He hit under 240. That fat fuck was terrible.
This ownership group. I'm going to start a conspiracy theory in that they wanted this to happen. When they gave Heimblum a contract to basically run this team, they wanted this to happen. They wanted them to not pay Mookie Betts, to not pay Benintendi, to not pay Bogaerts, and to probably not pay Rafael Devers. They hired him at a time when Betts needed a new contract. They hired him at a time when Bogaerts was going to eventually need a new contract. Same for Devers. Same for Benintendi. I'm going to start the conspiracy theory that they brought in this asshole from Tampa Bay to save all the money he can possible to work on nickels and dimes and to put more punny. I can't even talk right now. To put more money in these owners' pockets, because that's all that John Henry cares about. All he cares about is making freaking money. Which, good. We all want to do that. But you take on a responsibility when you're the owner of an organization, the owner of a franchise, and that responsibility goes to the next level when you're talking about a place like Boston, where we win, we're passionate. And to pull this crap, it's the final straw. I'm done. I'm not going to Fenway Park this year. I'm not putting on Nesson. I'm sick and tired of this shit. And no, I will hold true to that, and you know I will. Other people might not.
He ain't holding true to nothing. He'll be in Fenway by the end of May.
I could give a shit.
He'll be at Fenway.
I don't care if it's student nines. I'm not paying $9 to go up to Fenway Park and to watch this.
It's all right. You can come to Yankee Stadium. Corey loves Yankee Stadium.
I'm 23 years old, and the amount that I've been put through by this team.
How privileged is he? He's seen how many championships, and he still has the nerve to bitch.
And that goes to show just how bad that they've been.
You want to see it one more time? You want to see it one more time? Do you like what I made while you were ranting? Follow us at BasedMent Sports.
There's certain guys.
Xander says so.
There's certain guys that should never put on another uniform in their career.
He looks good in the Padres uniform. I don't know what you're talking about.
Mookie Betts is one of them. Xander Bogaerts is one of them. The guy was our captain. The guy was the glue of that clubhouse. And we let him go. And
Darn!
Obviously, people take notice. How many free agents just this year have we lost? To Yankees, which, okay, it's the Yankees, that's fine. We're losing freaking free agents to the Rangers, to the Rays. We can't even go out in the free agent market and sign guys because who the hell wants to play for this organization and play for that freaking asshole, Chaim Bloom? A guy that doesn't stick by his team. If you're Alex Cora, what is Alex Cora doing right now? What is he thinking? Not only, is he watching, his best players just drop like flies and go elsewhere, but these are also guys that he's close to. Alex Cora has close relationships with players in that locker room. Mookie Betts was one of them. Xander Bogaerts was one of them. Rafael Devers is one of them. And the guy's sitting there looking around. He's like that Will Smith meme from the last episode of Fresh Prince. Like, what? Where the fuck happened? Where is everybody? I feel for the guy and I feel for everybody in that locker room. They just lost a glue guy. They lost their most important player. On the field, off the field, a class act.
You know who didn't lose their best player? You know who didn't lose their best player?
And unlike the Yankees, we're worse off. We're worse off. Actually, we're both worse off. That's what I meant to say. They're worse off giving him that contract.
Hey.
And we're worse off letting him go.
You can invite Alex Cora to watch on your couch as you watch the Yankees play in the playoffs next year. Because you ain't going.
Sick.
I'll put so much money on the Sox not making the playoffs this upcoming year. I'll do it. I don't care.
I'll do it with you.
They're in shambles!
I'm so sick and tired.
Yeah, hate to see it!
All we get is
shambles!
Thanks for the memories Instagram post. That's what we're gonna get. When you have David Ortiz, Pedro Martinez, what's his name?
Didn't Pedro come out and shit on that? He was like, "Oh, you're destroying everything we built."
Exactly. When you got guys like that, guys like Dennis Eckersley telling you, go out and bring this guy back. It's gonna be a big mistake if you do. You fucking go out and do it. David Ortiz gave us everything he had. When that fucking guy tells you to do something, you do it. We don't win those championships without the homegrown guys like Ortiz. I know Manny and Pedro weren't homegrown guys, but they were guys that we brought in and spent a lot of years with us. Pedroia, Lester, Buckles. Just let these... Veritek, that's another one. How about that one? Nowadays, we just let them go. We let them go, and we have no identity other than assholes. Other than trash. Other than garbage. That's our identity.
As a present to you, I will pay for your ticket to come with me.
I'm not going.
To Yankee Stadium the weekend of May 26th when Xander Bogaerts visits the Yankee Stadium as a San Diego Padre.
Maybe I'd go to that. Maybe.
He's gonna have a great time.
Anything that involves the Boston Red Sox, I'm not doing. I don't care if they give Rafael Devers a contract tomorrow. I don't care if they go out and sign Dansby Swanson. I don't care if they do anything.
They won't.
I'm sick of this shit. They slapped us in the face. I wasn't even around. I wasn't even alive for Clemens. Talk about that one, Mo Vaughn. Just in my lifetime alone, just in the last couple of years. To see what they've done to us.
Shambles. He's in shambles, everybody!
I am.
Man, and it's fun to watch.
And I'm not afraid to admit it.
What an episode. We should do this more often.
We could count on it. We'll do it next offseason when they fuck us again.
Can't wait. Maybe Devers will be in pinstripes. Oh my God. If Devers signed with the Yankees.
He'll be in a different uniform, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But imagine it was pinstripes.
Today was some of the most heartbreak that I've felt in a long time. I've watched the guy.
I had a great day.
I've watched the guy since 2013 when he was wearing 72, not 2. When he won a World Series with us as a rookie.
Hey, but think about it. Now
I get to watch Trevor Story, a guy who I could give a shit about. Masataka Yoshida. If that guy doesn't turn into Ichiro, I'd be fucking pissed.
For Corioso Itoplasky, I'm Matt Poley. Make sure you follow BasedMent Sports on all platforms. Twitter,
whatever you want.
IG,
Nothing matters.
TikTok.
Nothing matters anymore.
Drop a sub to the YouTube. Leave a like. Those are huge for our growth. Leave a comment down below. Let us know how fired up to you are you to watch Xander in San Diego.
Time Bloom.
He's in shambles. It's awesome to watch. Thank you for watching. Leave a like. We'll see you next week.